I never thought the one I loved would choose another, until his engagement shattered my heart. I will never forget the day everything fell apart. It was a sun-drenched afternoon, the kind that carries a warmth that seeps deep into your bones. I stood in the coffee shop, my favorite place with its rustic charm, the scent of roasted beans filling the air. My hands trembled around the cold glass of my iced latte, the chill contrasting the heat surging inside me. I had been daydreaming about him. Again. Each passing moment, I thought it would bring us closer. But that day a shiver of dread stirred from my gut. Suddenly, the door swung open, and there he was, Jake. My heart leaped, palpitating anxiously, ready to burst out of my chest. He was the sun in my world, all warm smiles and bright laughter. But then I saw her. Standing beside him, wrapped in a cloud of ivory lace and shimmering hope. Jessica. The girl with bright blue eyes and an infectious giggle, always the center of attention. I felt my blood run cold as my breath hitched in my throat. My heartbeat hammered in my ears. They looked perfect together, like a scene straight out of a fairy tale. He looked at her with such intensity, a love that blinded me. I shrunk back, my chest tightening as reality crashed down on me like a tidal wave. Panic gripped me. I wanted to shout, to pull him away from her. I wanted him to see me. To realize I was the one who loved him fiercely. I could hear whispers in the cafe, eyes darting between us. Everyone knew our story. Everyone believed we were destined. Or at least, I believed so. Broken murmurs filled my head, a mixture of pity and intrigue. I wanted to melt into the shadows, but my feet felt glued to the ground, riveted by an unseen force. Suddenly, Jake reached for something. A small box. My breath caught. It glimmered, and I could see the way his fingers danced over it, like it was the most precious thing in the world. Jessica's face lit up more than the afternoon sun as he dropped to one knee. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice clear and unwavering. Time stopped. The world around me faded. The laughter, the chatter, the clinking of cups, they all fell silent, drowning beneath the roar of my heart shattering. I wanted to scream, to beg him not to do this. Tears streamed down my cheeks, burning paths of salt on my skin. It felt unreal, like a cruel joke orchestrated by the universe. His love, I thought it was mine. The gasps around me zipped through the air like arrows. I could barely grasp the laughter erupting around me, the clapping that followed. It felt like they were all in on this secret I wasn't meant to know. I staggered back, clutching the table, my mind a chaotic whirl of pain and disbelief. How could he choose her? How could he do this to me? As I turned to leave, my heart heavy with anguish, I caught a glimpse of his eyes searching for me. I saw confusion, maybe even regret, and then his gaze returned to Jessica, who leaned in for a kiss filled with promises. My insides twisted painfully. Was this really happening? I stumbled out of the cafe, the cool air striking my flushed skin like a slapping hand. I could still hear the echoes of their laughter, piercing through the fog. It hurt. It hurt more than anything had before. I didn't know where to go, nor what to do with the bitter truth inside me. My world spiraled, darkness creeping in at the edges, but as I walked away, a thought struck like lightning in a storm. What if this wasn't the end? What if there was something more? I couldn't shake it. The questions ignited a flicker of determination in my soul despite the crushing weight of loss. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As days turned into a blur, reality settled into a strange whirlpool of numbness. Each sunrise felt like a taunt, a reminder that life continued to unfold, oblivious to the ache lodged in my chest. I caught glimpses of their happiness in snippet social media posts, shared photos marinated in laughter, and updates from friends who hadn't a clue of the storm brewing within me. Each notification sliced through my facade, threatening to reveal the raw wound beneath my skin. I found myself at work, sitting behind the front desk of a local art gallery, trying to immerse myself in vibrant canvases, but all I saw were shadows of a joy that escaped me. The walls echoed stories of color and creation, but my heart remained monochrome, painted with the shades of sorrow. My co-workers chatted enthusiastically about upcoming exhibitions, and I forced a smile, trying to be present while the world faded around me. One evening, as I was closing up, an unexpected presence disrupted my solitude. A girl named Mia, new to the gallery and blissfully unaware of my heartache, wandered over with a box of leftover pastries from a nearby bakery. Her eyes sparkled with an excitement that was light years away from my dulled spirit. "I figured we could do with a little sugar and caffeine after a long day," she announced, setting it down beside me with a grin. Her kindness ignited a small flicker of warmth within, lifting the thick layer of melancholy just enough to let the light in. We shared stories over the rich sweetness of chocolate croissants, and for a moment, the laughter flowed free of the weight that had held me captive for weeks. It felt strange to smile, like using a muscle ID long since abandoned, but Mia's genuine joy coaxed me back to life, even if only for a heartbeat. But soon, I could feel the familiar tide of tears brimming just beneath the surface as I recalled that fateful day, and I excused myself, retreating to the solitude of my apartment. The walls were closing in, and before I knew it, I was curled up on the floor, tears trickling down my face as I grasped my phone. I didn't want to face the truth, but I needed clarity. Would it hurt less if I knew more? With trembling fingers, I scrolled through the endless images of Jake and Jessica, each one like a dagger to my heart. I caught a lovely candid shot of them, his laughter exploding into the air, her smile radiant beside him. That night, sleep eluded me. I tossed and turned, haunted by memories that wouldn't let go. My dreams morphed into a treacherous landscape, where I watched Jake slip further away with every step I tried to take toward him. He was leaving, always leaving, and I was only a ghost haunting the edges of their joy.at dawn. I woke up with a heavy sense of resolve. I couldn't let this heartbreak be the end. I had to rediscover who I was, away from the shadow of what could have been. I put together a small collection of my paintings, pieces I had hidden away, untouched since the day I had realized David wouldn't be the one to see them. Today felt like a day needed for rebirth. I had to channel this pain into something that could create, rather than destroy. I signed up for a local art show, wanting to showcase my work, a heartbeat, a testament to the life I could still lead. Each brushstroke felt cathartic, allowing me to pour my loss, my dreams, and my hidden hopes onto the canvas. It was just me, stripped of the reality I had clung to so desperately, battling against the wave of emotion I thought would drown me. As the date of the exhibition approached, I felt the spark of excitement rise like a phoenix. The day finally arrived, and with chestnut curls swept into a messy bun, I adorned myself with paint-splattered overalls and an open heart. Stepping into the gallery, my fingers trembled as friends and patrons admired my work. It was exhilarating and terrifying, but as the night unfolded, I found moments of joy blooming amidst the chaos, and then it happened. In the midst of an animated conversation about the meaning behind one of my pieces, a voice came from behind me. That sent a shockwave through my entire being. "Wow, this is incredible." I turned to find Jake, standing just a few feet away, his eyes scanning the vibrant colors that mirrored the tumult inside me. He stepped closer, a mixture of admiration and uncertainty etched on his face. "I had no idea you were going to be here." I wanted to see your work." In that fleeting instant, time suspended. I could feel the warmth radiating from him, but beneath the surface, a chill swept through me. Would he sweep me back into the emotions I had fought so hard to regain control over, or was this merely a glimpse of grander things we couldn't ever grasp again? My heart raced with a surge of adrenaline, uncertainty wrapping around me like a noose. Just as I opened my mouth to speak, to reclaim my voice, I noticed Jessica standing across the room, her blue eyes narrowing in my direction, flashing with an inexplicable fury. I could feel the walls crumbling around me, the delicate balance of hope and despair crashing together with startling force. What was about to unfold in this moment? I took a breath, ready to step into the chaos, but the tempest was only just beginning, and the stakes had never felt higher. The tension in the air was palpable, the scene frozen as I stood caught between two worlds, Jake's hopeful gaze and Jessica's stormy presence. My heart raced wildly, the flutter of emotions clawing at my insides. The colors of my paintings, blooming bright around me, seemed to pale under the weight of the moment. I forced myself to breathe, feeling a need to regain control over the chaos that swirled in my mind. "Hey, it's been a while," Jake finally managed to say, a tentative smile creeping onto his lips, but his eyes betrayed a deeper current, one I feared to explore. The past threatened to resurface, memories threatening to reclaim me. I opened my mouth, ready to let out a flood of words, a mix of confusion and longing that had been bottled up within me. But the moment was cut short as Jessica approached, her silhouette casting a shadow over our interaction. The sharpness in her stride sent ripples of trepidation through my body, and suddenly, the warmth I felt only moments ago slipped through my fingers like sand. "Jake." Her voice sliced through the crowd like a razor. It was tinged with a forced brightness, and yet I caught the undertones of bitterness. "There you are. I was looking for you. You promised to help me with the presentation, remember?" She wrapped her arm around his, an anchor to pull him back into her world. I stood frozen in place, the colors of my exhibition fading into blurred backgrounds as I watched them together. The juxtaposition of Jake's presence at my show and the heaviness radiating from Jessica felt like a cruel twist of fate. They appeared like a well-rehearsed act, a script I wasn't supposed to disrupt. "Just a minute," he replied, still gazing at me. The moment felt like a suspended breath, the weight of unspoken words causing a lump to form in my throat. I could see the fleeting connection glimmering in his eyes, that same spark we had shared long ago. But reality crashed over me like cold water. This was not our story anymore. Mia drifted closer, her perceptive eyes noting the shift, and she nudged me gently. "Do you want me to get you a drink? Maybe some air?" I shook my head, feeling the urgency to face what was unraveling before me. "I need to talk to him," I whispered, more to myself than to her. The conviction echoed in my mind, a silent plea for clarity. Before I could muster the courage, Jessica tightened her grip on Jake's arm, pulling him away, drawing him back into their world of filtered happiness while I remained tethered to shadows and heartache. "Let's go," she chirped, her smile plastered on her face, but her eyes darted daggers my way. I blinked, feeling the heat rising in my chest. Fury and sadness entwined meant a concoction that threatened to drown me. What right did she have to sway his attention? Less than an hour before, I had felt liberated, emboldened to share my truth through art. Now I felt as if I was drowning in a tempest of unresolved emotions. For an entire breathless minute, Jake glanced between us, uncertainty marring his features. "You'll be right there," he said quietly to Jessica before turning back to me. "Can we talk? Just for a moment?" Hope surged within me, a fragile bud pushing through concrete, but right on its heels was the fear of rejection. I hesitated, caught like a deer in headlights, lost in the forest of disbelief as Jessica's presence loomed over us like a dark cloud. I sought refuge in Jake's gaze, wanting desperately for him to pull me back into the light. Before I could respond, Jessica